So I'm going to start this talk, and it's basically why Ireland needs Christianity. So last week, my best friend came to Ireland for the first time, and we went to the Book of Kells. So the Book of Kells is like in Trinity, it's a museum. And basically, if you haven't gone before, it's really cool, so you definitely check it out. So the Book of Kells is the manuscripts of the Gospels, which is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the New Testament. And it has the manuscript of the New Testament of the Book of Kells, which is basically the story of the life of Jesus. And it's a really beautiful book, and it has like loads of like really creative designs, and it's really beautiful in appearance. But like what's even more beautiful about this is the actual contents of the book. So like, what is the purpose of a book? The purpose of a book is to read it and to gain the knowledge and the wisdom from the book, so that you can gain like experience and the knowledge and the wisdom and enjoyment from the book. So that's the whole purpose of the book. But when we went to the Book of Kells, one of the little descriptions that were written was giving the description of why, like what the purpose of the Book of Kells was. And it said that it was for sacramental purposes rather than educational purposes. So that firstly defeats the whole purpose of a book. Because the whole purpose of a book is to read it and to gain the knowledge from the book. But if you're just looking at the content, like the appearance of the book, then you're not actually gaining anything from just a pretty cover. So we've completely missed the entire point of the book. St. Patrick's Day is one of the known holidays in Ireland, which is coming up next month in March. And it's basically to be celebrating this guy, Patrick, who came to Ireland. But why are we celebrating St. Patrick's Day? What are we meant to be celebrating? What did he actually do? Oh yeah, you hear about like Patrick, oh he came and he like got rid of all the snakes in Ireland, but like what was his purpose here in Ireland? So his purpose here in Ireland was to bring the good news. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But yet on St. Patrick's Day, we remember the person because it's called St. Patrick's Day, but we don't actually remember his purpose, why he was here, what his purpose in Ireland was. And again, we missed the entire point of his coming. And Mass. If you grew up in Ireland and you were like in a traditional home, you probably have your parents brought you to church to Mass, like whether it's Catholic, Protestant, non-denominational, whatever. Maybe it was your parents' tradition to bring you to church, either every Christmas and Easter, if there was a death or anything. Maybe you got baptized as a baby. You did your first communion, you got to wear that really pretty white dress, or you did your confirmation. But how many of us actually understand and know why we did those things? Why we got baptized as a baby? Why we did our first communion? Why we did our confirmation? How many of those vows do our parents that gave at our baptism, how many of them actually keep it? And what about our first communion and our confirmation? What was the lifestyle that we said that we would commit to? And do we actually still keep to those? So these are all of these Irish traditions that have been established and are in the household. But like, when did church become a tick-the-box activity? When did church become, you have to do additional to-do lists rather than the point of having community? And again, we've missed the whole point of church. And I think this is the problem with Ireland. We focus on the exterior, we focus on the outer layer of everything, and we don't actually get to the deep internal issues. We don't dig beneath the shallowness. And we, Ireland, as a nation, have now had the study done that we are like the highest level of loneliness in Europe. And that says a lot, that's mad. Because we're the nation that everyone comes, I've talked to so many internationals, and they've said, oh, why did they choose, I asked them, why did they come to Ireland? And they say, oh, because I've heard the people are friendly. Like, we are the friendliest people, we have the best crack, yet we are the loneliest people in Europe. Like, 1 plus 1 is not equaling 2. Like, something is missing, something crucial that we have missed. And we're missing, again, the whole point. We haven't got to the point. So this talk is basically why Ireland needs Christianity. And I think the reason why is because we've never focused on it. We've never actually understood what it meant to be a Christian country. We claim the name, but we don't bear the weight. We have the title, and yet we don't do anything with it. So let's talk about it. So Christianity, if you've probably heard in religion class, is like an umbrella term for the different forms. But basically the word Christianity, what does it have the word in? It has the word Christ. Christ in Christianity. So Ireland needs Christianity because Ireland needs Christ. And you need Christianity because you need Christ, Jesus Christ. We've all heard this name Jesus before, whether it's in a song or if you hear people using it as a curse word, or even if it's Christmas, Jesus. You cannot walk around Ireland and not hear the word Jesus. He is everywhere. But why is he so significant? What is his purpose? What is his point? Why was he here? So Jesus, he claimed to be God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the sea and the sky, you and I. He looked at the world and he said there's something missing. It's humans. So he wanted humans to be involved in his creation. He wanted us to be a part of something huge. And yet us humans, we have the free choice. We can do whatever we want. We have the choice. And we do that every day. We mess up. We mess up every single day. We think that we know it all. We think our knowledge and our thoughts and our wisdom isn't flawed. We think that we can do what we want. Yeah, we make mistakes every day. And for those mistakes, we should be punished because that's the right thing. That's justice, right? And you and I were not perfect, and we have done bad stuff. So according to the law, we should be punished. We should be disciplined. We should be, our wrongs should be made right. So, for example, have you ever lied? I have. Even a small lie, like telling your parents that you're studying while you're actually laying in bed, or you're laughing at a joke that someone said and it's not funny at all. Like these little things, these are lies because you're not being truthful. So, if you've ever done something like that, even if it's small, if it's big, you have lied. That makes you a liar. So, you're a liar. What about stealing? Have you ever stolen from a shop? Or have you ever borrowed an item from a friend and actually never gave it back? Well, that's stealing. And if you have stolen something, then you are a thief. So, not only are you a liar, but you're a thief. So, you're a lying thief. What about taking more than we actually need? Now you're a lying, greedy thief. So, because you've done those things, you should be punished for those things, for those mistakes. Those should be made right. So deep down, we know that we have done more worse stuff than maybe stealing like a little sweet or something like this. And we all have secrets. We all have done stuff that we are ashamed of, or we're embarrassed that if anybody ever heard of, that they would ridicule us, or they wouldn't. You don't want people to think a different way of you, or you're scared of how they would respond to you or what they would think of you, deep down. And God, he is just. We should be disciplined for our actions. Everything that we've done, it should be made right, because that's justice. In the world that we live in today, all of us, we all want justice in this world. If someone wrongs you, you want to be made right. If someone commits a crime, they should be punished for that mistake, for that crime, because that's justice. And God is a just God. So for every wrong thing that we have done, it should be made right. So you have done something wrong, and the accuser comes to get justice from you, from the crime that you committed. You should pay for your mistake. But what about our lives? We make a mistake every single day. We mess up. Who's going to pay for all of these wrong things that we've done? And this is where the good news comes in. So Jesus, like I mentioned before, this name that we hear all about all the time here in Ireland. Jesus, God himself, he came in human form so that we could understand him. He came to the earth, he lived the perfect life. He didn't do anything wrong. He never lied, he never swore, he never gossiped, he never did anything of these things wrong. And then he said that he's going to step in our place and take the convictions that we have of our mistakes. So he became the mediator. He stood in front of you and took all of the blame that you should deserve, that you do deserve, for all of the stuff that you've done, for all the times that you lied, for all of the times you were selfish, all of your guilt, all of your shame. He looked you in the eye and he said, you are worth it. You are worth me being ridiculed, being spat on, being mocked, being betrayed, so that I can have a relationship with you. And that's ultimately all that he wants. He wants to have a relationship with you. He looks at you and he says, I see you. your mistakes. I see your pain. I see your loneliness and your shame. I see where you've messed up and when you've done the unforgivable. And he says that you are fully known. I know you. And yet I still choose to love you. And this is true love. For someone to look at you and know every small detail of you, everything that you've done wrong, everything that you've done right, the beauty and the pain, and still choose to love you, that is true love. And that's what he wants. That's what he wants. He wants to have a relationship with you. And that is the point. That is the good news. That is the point that we're missing in Ireland. We're missing this good news that Jesus came to give you. He came because he wants to get to know you. He wants you to get to know him. He wants you to come to him with everything that you have, all of the pain, all of the hurt, all of the mistakes. He wants you to give that to him because he wants to be able to heal you, to comfort you, to guide you, and to heal you from all this, to protect you. We know how horrible this world is. And that's all he wants. He wants you to know that you are fully known and also yet fully loved. More than you can ever fathom. And well, this is what the Bible says. So in Romans chapter 5, verse 7, in the New Testament of the Bible, it says basically that we can understand how someone good and noble could inspire us to a selfless sacrifice. So we can see someone who's really, really good, who's done really, really good things in the world, and we can be like, okay, I can understand that they have done good stuff in the world. I could possibly, maybe, on a good day, I could sacrifice my life for them. But God looked at us and he put his love on the line for us, offering his son in a sacrificial death while we were of no use to him whatsoever. So God put Jesus, his son, on the cross so that he could be that sacrificial death, meaning that he could take all of our convictions, all of our crimes, all of our mistakes, and put it on the cross so that we could have that relationship with him. Because he loves you. Because he loves you and wants to have a relationship with you. While we were the worst of the worst, if you think about yourself on the worst day, while you were like that, he looked at you and said that you are worthy of that. So that is where true freedom is found. Because freedom, in this world, we like to think that freedom is doing whatever we want. But really, true freedom is when you don't have to hide anymore. When you can honestly see someone and know that they fully love you, fully know you, regardless of all of the stuff that you've done. That is true freedom. The fact that we can go to God now, and we don't have to carry the weight on our shoulders. We don't have to carry the burdens that we carry from our past mistakes. But we can leave them behind where Jesus made that sacrifice for them, where he took them, he took all of our crimes, and he paid the price for them on the cross. And to know that you are fully accepted by Jesus, now you can walk with him. You can walk with Jesus in freedom, in true freedom, walking side by side with Jesus, and knowing that whatever he asks of you, you know that 100% is for your good. You know 100% that he is always with you, and that even to the end of your death, he will always love you and care for you and is with you. So that ultimately is the good news, the gospel. The good news that brings freedom, that brings love, that brings joy. And the freedom that's in the book of Kells that they never got to, the contents of the book. What St. Patrick came to do in Ireland, to bring the good news here in Ireland. And this